Hello everyone, welcome, my name is Reaygun, and today, well, I say today, I mean yesterday, they released the Curse of Osiris stream number 2 out of 3, and we've got some more information for Curse of Osiris, and it's what they're talking about now is the actual events, and kind of more about the adventures and endgame that we're going to find in this first expansion for Destiny 2. And the first thing they mentioned is a new public event, which they were just talking about it like it was a bloody circus, and they were running around, where they had to kill a bunch of gatekeepers, gate lords, whatever the hell it was. You know, basically the hydras that kept spawning the gatekeepers, that's what, yeah, there we go. And they dropped these keys, that they called, which are basically just arc charges that you have to dunk. And then these cannons would, like, spawn, turn around, shoot you onto different islands where you'd have to do the same thing. Then on the other side, it was kind of like it's more of a mobility type event, rather than just like, okay, we're going to make the players stay in one spot, like all the other ones so far in Destiny 2. And then at the end of that, they had to kill a gate lord as well, which goes immune at some point, where you have to kill more gatekeepers, pick up the key, disable his shield by dunking it right on top of the gate lord, and then once you've done that, the 2 chests at the end of the event will also spawn, so that's more loot. However, in the livestream, Deidre's like making this thing sound prestigious loot, but it wasn't. It was just like 1 blue gear and 2 mercury tokens, and it was disappointing for 2 chests. Like, it kind of looked like it set him up just to look a bit like a twat. And then we saw a bit more of the Infinite Forest and adventures as well, where they talk about those, where some adventures will be taking place in the Infinite Forest, which explores different timelines of Mercury. And the Infinite Forest is also just a Vex reality simulation machine, where they see what would happen with the different timelines of Mercury in the past, present, and the future, all with different scenarios and whatnot. So we get to see what would happen, like in a world where the Vex took over, where they didn't, and like in the past. And I was watching a couple of other YouTubers' videos about it, and they were saying that the past one that they got to try out when they got invited over seems like to be some of their favorites. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for when it actually comes out later in December. And then, of course, as well, the adventures also have a theme, like up and up, for example, breaching a bunch of platform jumping, all that type of mobility kind of adventures, you know, different type of things basically from what we're usually used to already so far. And then they speak about the lighthouse, how it's more optimized, so you don't have to run around everywhere, and there's also a couple of mysteries for us to figure out and solve in the lighthouse, and I really hope they put flipping more teleport points like on the tower map, because it's just crazy having to walk all over the place. So at least it's nice to see that the new social area won't have that problem. Then they also go on about how adventures have heroic modes as well, which are supposed to be very challenging with different modifiers each time you play it. And then of course we have these prophecy verses, and also something that links to the Forge. So basically there's these little cubes, they're called Lost Prophecy verses, okay? There's 11 different ones. Buying one will start a mini quest where you have to collect certain items to unlock it. So you have your little cube or whatever, and you need basically, like, we're just going to call these item keys for now. And these items, if you go into the actual details of which cube you've picked up, it'll tell you where you need to go and get these keys or items from. And some will be like from strike missions, heroic adventures, public events, etc. All that different type of stuff on Mercury. And now once you get all these items, you then consume them to unlock the little cube that you've got. And then once you've done that, you take it to the Forge interface and you put it into the Forge, and the Forge will give you a brand new weapon. Like I say, there are 11 of these, and there is like a little, there's a theme to the weapons, of course, which is all just Vex, because, you know, that's the theme of the DLC. And then there's also like an area on the wall, which is like kind of like a big circle with different little symbols on it that show 11 different slots for the weapons, so you can actually track which weapons you've got and which ones you haven't. And apparently, wait, let's see. All the weapons were designed with perks and stats chosen carefully. So again, it is fixed roles for the weapons. So even though they have this thing called the Forge, for some reason they still haven't gone into the fact that people want roles back and just add a bit more flavor to the game. And then, of course, there are new strikes as well. 2 new strikes added. You get introduced to them via the story campaign, and once you've completed the story mode, you can play them in your strike playlist. There are 2 versions of these strikes, a solo version integrated into the story, and a regular strike designed for free players. And that's really it so far that we know of. When Livestream 3 is out, I'll let you guys know more information about that, and anything else that comes out, because they also mentioned how they'll be swapping out the Eververse rewards and loot from the Bright Engrams, which we knew was coming anyway at the end of Season 1. So it's going to be exciting to see what they show us for Season 2. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the future. Remember, my name's Reaygun. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you again in the future. Peace!